Okay, now you told me to record you when you weren't expecting it, but I need you to repeat that. So
Okay.
my question was,
In front of the
here's the
American.
big thing. Okay, so I have basically just literally like spilled the beans on the U.S. plan to attack China using the military, whole military of Taiwan, and part of that, I mean, like I've lived in Taiwan for 9 years. This is literally my home. Actually, sorry, last time was only 8.5 years, but there was 3.5 years before that, so it's a whole bunch of years together. Anyway, so Taiwan is literally my home. My wife is there, my cats are there, my home is there. This is my home. And my body is allergic to Canada because I don't like the cold. So, my friend Dan had a wonderful question, and he was asking about. Do you remember your question? Can you repeat?
Yes, in front of the Americans, Taiwan is considered a democracy, but it's supposed to rule on China for the sense of the city is who said running who. So, is it communism or is it democratic in a sense like the Americans?
And I'm gonna stop
Or
Dan.
yeah.
I'm gonna stop Dan because all of the other ors that Dan can possibly say, when you're talking about a democratic government, okay, and yeah, we all have demons. Anyway, when you're talking about a democratic government or a Republican government or a communist government such as China is, all of these governments that you're talking about are actually governments that you're like able to somehow contact. Okay, so the Chinese government has a few more barriers, but really they have been hurt a lot more. So, like, one of the main ways to get the attention of the Chinese government is to do something recognizable to help them. Because if you're not helping them, why would they want to talk to you? Like, really? Like, I mean, all we're doing is accusing the Chinese people of not being good enough this, not being good enough that, and then on top of that, we're saying that we're afraid of communists. So, not only are we accusing people of not being good enough, but then we're also saying that we're afraid of them. If they're truly enlightened, like Buddhists, then they're gonna look at us like,
Yeah, I can't understand.
you guys have lost your head a little bit. You know, when you calm down a little bit, we're ready to talk. So until then, just talk to like our newspapers. If you have anything important to report, our newspapers will tell us. And that's like the Chinese attitude. And honestly, it's noble. Like truly, it's noble. So that being said, the his answer to the question of what the Taiwan government actually is. So they're telling the world that they are a democratic government. They're telling the world that they're a democratic government, but actually, they're calling themselves the Republic of China government. And the Republic of China was a government that existed in China in 1947 when they started this thing called the Constitution of the Republic of China, and that began this whole era called the Democratic Nation of China, with boundaries set by the people of China. And then 2 years later, there's this guy, a really whacked out guy. He says, you know what? I'm the boss now. You can't vote for anyone but me. And if you don't vote for me, well, you have to vote for me. And the people were like, what are you talking about? And so the people went up and they rose up against him, and that guy fled to Taiwan. So he's been in Taiwan hiding away. He died in 1975. But he ran there in 1949. Kept telling the whole wide world that he controls all of China. And then in 1971, the United Nations, in the same year when they unhemmed the US dollar from the actual working class economy by making it the global no choice form of money. They also said, oh, by the way, China, you know what? You guys can just carry our load for now, and in order to make sure that you carry your load, yes, okay, we'll give you your name back. And by the way, your real name now is People's Republic of China, but, call it what you will because we don't really care about you anyway. That's okay. That's okay. These are all just echoes floating away. China knows now. We're all on the level. We're all on the level that Taiwan really is in utter violation of its own constitution. Article 4 specifically, that says that the people of China must agree to any relocation of the boundary definition of China, which was the boundary definition in 1947. So, because the United Nations forgot to ratify some sort of step there that gives like actual official authority to Taiwan, so it still belongs to China. So the United Nations can't secretly, silently fund the USA hostile takeover of China to institute their own idea of a second coming in what they would probably use as Iran, because Iran is not currently linked to the banking system, and it's over in the Middle East there, and it's kind of very protected. So actually, they've had like a secret good plan for Iran, but that's okay. Well, those are all just echoes. So anyway, my friend Dan had a question. So Taiwan is basically lying to the world about being a democracy.
Okay, they want to be communist.
Well, I don't even think it matters. Like, communism doesn't matter because that's misunderstood. Communism is misunderstood. Communism is totally misunderstood. It's just a political party like everybody else. Just they, okay. So the aliens. We believe in aliens, right?
Yeah.
We believe in aliens. Did you know? Here's a good thing. Fun fact about aliens: they don't really have mouths. Okay, like they don't have mouths. Think about that. Many of them don't. Some of them do. Many of them don't. And the U.S. can verify that with all of their secret research and all the aliens that they've been letting out, that they're still trying to figure out why don't the aliens have mouths. Okay, so they don't have mouths. So here you go. You want to know why aliens don't have mouths? Anyway, they feed by having nutritional baths with their bodies. So they absorb nutrients to their body through the skin, which is, of course, the biggest surface area on their body, and in space, your whole digestion process would work differently. So don't worry about that. They've got the digestion process all worked out without a mouth. And they don't need a mouth because it's actually telepathy, folks. Telepathy. They use telepathy to communicate, and if you have two minds arguing in a telepathic space, believe me, you'll reach the answer a lot faster than having to talk it out verbally. So what I'm actually telling you guys, is actually like an after echo of somebody else's telepathic argument up there. And as soon as you clue into that, you're going to realize that we're actually part of the same mind, having the same telepathic communication, and this one might just be giving you guys a headache. So avoid headaches. Definitely, headaches, not good. So you want to call me a headache, that's fine. Whenever I'm in your presence, you will basically just do what I say. And then you have the right to remain silent, but you're still going to do what I say. And then after that, there's going to be the whole, what did he just say? And it's recorded, so you can just listen again. But then after all that, then there's the whole, I'm sorry, folks, and I'm still here. I'm still homeless. I don't have any money. And the echoes keep going back to the physical me. So no matter how highly you want to get about this, the echoes toward me now are more in my favor now, folks. So any slower on this, and I'm thankful to God that we're speeding this up, and everything will work in my favor anyway. How's that? Okay, so